Yeah.
We'll come back, edit the promo for the Roma Fiction Fest, and then while we're there, we're going to shoot that festival too, because it's all part of the process of us getting this together. I mean, we've done this extraordinarily quickly, put this whole thing together. So that part of the whole thing while we're in Serbia, while we're in Rome, is the process of it.
Yeah, and we still don't have all the funding yet. Right. So there's a film festival going on in Novi Sad in Serbia. We're going to hit there. We're going to be pitching people there on camera, and then you know, when we go to Rome, we're going to hopefully you know, break open the European market there. So, so we're going to be there presenting our work, and we're also going to be pitching it at the same time
and shooting that whole thing. That's all part of the product.
Yeah, so it's like going to really be a work in progress.
Oh yeah.
To really get that idea.
Yeah, we're really going to show the process.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, Atheist Rap, or that's the punk band, right?
Yep.
They have a show that they're going to be doing with this song that they wrote for you?
Yeah, they were our first contact.
Yeah.
And the guitarist is the only one that speaks English, but they've become, or he has at least, just become just a wonderful ally. Marc, at 4 in the morning in his basement, we've been up all night drinking, trying to figure out how do we do this thing. What's the first step? We first, you know, this is right after we found out. And he said, well, I'm going to write an email.
Yeah.
And he, you know, so he found the email of the band. He wrote this, what we thought later was just a demented email. And it, you know, they didn't get back to us for a week, so we thought, okay, that blew everything.
Yeah.
You know, we just wanted to say,
we thought, that's it. The project is done. They didn't answer the email. So might as well just throw in the towel.
Yeah. And then they got back to us, and then Marc ended up getting them on the phone, and they told us about this June 6th concert, which is their 20th anniversary.
Whose 20th anniversary?
Theirs.
Atheist Rap. They've been around for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So they organized this festival, a 2-day thing in their hometown in Novi Sad.
Yeah.
And originally it was to take place in the main square. It's a funny story. It was the main square of Novi Sad. So they were going to play on the 6th, and there were going to be other bands, like friends of theirs, going to play on the 5th. And but they couldn't get the square. They had a problem with permits and construction, so they moved it to a venue that they call Manuel's Used Art Emporium.
Right.
So we don't know what that means, but we're going to find out.
That's what I'm talking about. We're trying to create some narrative structure there from what we know.
Yeah.
Scraps of information from Skype, emails, phone calls. And you know, we had this whole wonderful montage set up between the student protests in Novi Sad in 96, 97, and then the same square, the Atheist Rap and the gathering of people now, what's changed and everything. Well, now it's Manuel's Used Art Emporium. So, well, you know,
it's almost better.
Well, it's just stuff you can't plan for, is the point. We just got to go and trust that everything's going to be fine.
So what was their reaction to you when they actually talked to you? Like, were they all, you know, impressed with you? I mean, they've written a song about you. It's on their CD. Well, were they really kind of starstruck?
I don't know, Marc's will, because he talked to them with them.
No, I don't think so. I asked after we got in touch with them, and they said they might be interested in talking to us about contributing to the project somehow.
Yeah.
Radulay is the guy's name, and he wrote a big email describing how and why they wrote the song, you know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't such a starstruck thing, but again, it was like it was an escapism thing.
Yeah.
And it was something that gave them a lot of entertainment during a really crappy time, in their country's history, and it was something that got them through because a lot of bad things happened during that time, and Belgrade was bombed for like 78 days by NATO, and. You can just imagine people having to live through that sort of situation.
Yeah.
And by the way, Peter MacKay, our present defense minister, has agreed verbally to do an interview with us, and also we're in contact with Senator Eglinton's office, because he was the defense minister during the NATO bombing. So we want to get a little bit of perspective on that too, because you hear Serbia and Yugoslavia or whatever, and we have this horrified reaction to it, like they're barbarians and this and that. Well, the point was we dropped about, what was it, 550.
There was a lot of bombs. I can't remember. There was a lot. But we dropped a fair amount.
And some civilian targets. Nobody meant to, but we hit some civilian targets, whether by accident or whatever. But so we all have, we Canadians are so isolated from where the wars are going on, but we have blood in our hands too, and it's, so we're going to get both sides, see what happened, and just ask questions.
So are you surprised then, with that in mind, that you're being so well received?
Well, what we've been told from our crew in Serbia is not to put, like, when we first looked into it, it looked like, oh, this was a phenomenon of the student protests.
Yeah.
Right? Which is where the Nick Slaughter for president and all that came out. But they were saying that does disservice to other, like that was one political attitude of the students, and there were many others, and they said that if you go in there and just focus on that, then other people really use this show as escapism, use that character.
Everybody was watching the show, on both sides.
So we can't go in there and take one party's angle. It's basically, it was a national phenomenon of just like trying to, they had no hope, basically, at that time, so they, in the real world, so they had to get some fictional sense of hope, and it just happened to be that show and that character. So, to get political on it, or I think we would lose focus.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Now, June 6th, is this being advertised down there? This big concert? Like they must be. Yeah. They must be really.
Well, before we had any funding, we had any funding, Marc made a verbal commitment to the graduate, the guitarist of the band, which made a verbal commitment. We didn't have our funding. We didn't have anything.
Right.
He made the verbal commitment, and then gradually leaked it to the press there.
And I gave him the okay to do that as well.
So Marc is responsible for my answer, because within a day, that had hit every newspaper, TV shows, radio, that Nick Slaughter was coming to the Atheist Rap Concert June 6th, and we still didn't have money. So we didn't know how we were going to do this.
A little bit of pressure.
And that we were going to do a documentary. So now we had to have a crew. We couldn't just go there and buy plane tickets and show up. Now we had to have a crew. We had to have this. We had none of that.
I wanted to get things moving a little bit. I was getting a little bored with this stagnation. It was time to do something.
Yeah, and it was actually, to tell you the truth, it was actually Marc's idea that I get up on stage and play. That was something.
Oh, you're playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, what, guitar?
Guitar, but I haven't played in 30 years. And that was another thing he's sort of sprung on me. That what was the other thing that I found out in the press?
Are you singing?
That I leaked the denial without leaking the denial, that you'd be happy to appear in that television show, Nick Montenegro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how we got the crew.
Ask you that next.
That's how we got the Serbian crew. They wanted to do a show based on Tropical called Nick Montenegro.
Yeah.
A cheesier title I cannot imagine. But, they're very excited about it. And Marc, I found this out in the paper, like on the internet through some of their papers, that I was doing this television show.
Right.
So
not from Marc.
So immediately I was like, oh, okay, Vespi. I call him and he goes, I didn't say yes.
I said he'd be happy to do it.
Okay, that's pretty vague, isn't it? So I don't even, they haven't brought that up. They just, when we talk to them on Skype, the crew there, they keep mentioning, oh yeah, and then we'll go to Montenegro.
Right.
Yeah. So I assume that's what it's,
I think that's it.
So are you going to be Skyping in at any times during this
to Skype back?
Process? Yeah.
Sure.
That people can log in and keep updated?
Yeah, I don't know.
Think of that.
Yeah. I don't, like, we're so technically, we have technical problems, so I'm going to stick clear to making any bad remarks on that. But
we're doing this whole project with flint knives.
Yeah. Bearskin rugs.
Yes.
Right? That's what no, that's wrong. That's a wrong analogy.
We're misquoting
That's
Star
a
Trek.
different kind of...
Yeah. Sorry. That was our last project. It didn't go over so well. No, but if we knew how to sort of make some kind of live broadcast back through our website, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would
So if you have any ideas on how we can do that,
okay,
we're going to need all the help we can get.
Yeah. Now, so where is this concert? In
Novi Sad,
okay,
which is a city, the second biggest city in Serbia. It's about 80 clicks north of Belgrade.
Okay, so June 6th. So if anyone's over in Serbia,
you
know where to go.
That's right.
June 6th.